Hello, we're doing another YouTube video. Now today we're near Haigh in Wigan, and Bob's dad, when he was 10, used to come on this metal bridge here, about 1935 Bob reckons, and there's a little hole here, and he used to spy through that hole, and he used to watch the steam trains go under here. And Bob, we came up and said, my dad's spy hole's still there after all these years. But now the railway has just been converted by Wigan Council into a walkway. It was a right muddy, horrible mess. I think it was the old Welly line that probably went from the coal mines to wherever, and they went through Haigh itself, and I'll be doing a few more videos as we get into Haigh, the grounds of Haigh. Come on. Alright, Norman, you ready? Look at this we found. One of the things that's left over from the railway, and an old telegraph pole, still with the tops on and the insulators for the telephone. How cool is that? And look at this, Bob. When you cut a tree down, can you see it's woke up the auxiliary buds all the way around, and it's going to be a multi-stem tree now. So they've cut it off trying to kill it, and the tree's saying, I'm not being killed, I'm going to grow back. Come on, Norman. Look at this, Bob. That's actually an insulator, and it's still got the wire on, off what connected to that telegraph pole. So if you found one of them, that's what they are. Norman, it's not for you. Here, you chase this big lump of wood. You run one way, Norman. Here we go, Bob. Let's start here. Oh, another one. Found another one. Still got the wire on it. Right, when me and Bob were walking down here a couple of weeks ago, we met a guy who'd come from London. And this, we think, was the old Welly line, but I'm no railway expert. And he was walking down here, and he was looking for this, we think. This, we think, is the entrance to what was a tunnel. And there used to be a tunnel from here going down there, and it went all the way through Haigh, because the people who owned Haigh didn't want a train coming through the land. Good morning. This definitely looks like a fascia to the tunnel, and then there used to be a brick wall. There's still remnants of it on this side and on that side there of the tunnel, and it went right over this, but apparently it collapsed after they'd built it. And so what people who owned Haigh did, got them to make a really nice wrought iron bridge, so we'll go and have a look at that next. Go on, Norman. Oh, so after the tunnel fell down, we think they built this lovely cast iron bridge, cast iron and stone, and the Victorians did everything proper. I mean, look at the quality of workmanship on that, and it's still here, and it's in the middle of a wood, and this path goes from Haigh at top of the hill where whoever lived there, and it goes right to Wigan Lane, where the gatehouse from Wigan Lane. So you can imagine them coming down here on stagecoaches in the olden days. We've had a lot of trees go down this year. I don't know how many trees have gone down, but me and Bob must have seen, must be about 30 big trees like that, a big beech that. And it's worrying because these have been here for hundreds of years and then suddenly they fall over. Lots of little ones waiting to come up though. Ah, this looks like turkey tail this time. Now you can tell turkey, oh yeah, definitely. Tell turkey tail because it's white underneath. Don't know if you can see that. And it has paws like leather. So if you find that, it looks like a turkey's tail. It's got white underneath with paws like leather. Now this one, apparently, if you look on the internet, it's got links with a cure for cancer. Now fungi, we humans, all animals, evolved from the fungi kingdom. So they are more related to us than they are to plants. But everybody thinks because they grow like a plant and they look like they've got roots, they've not. They've got something called mycelium that runs through the wood, eating the wood. So that's why there's probably chemicals and things in fungi that are probably good for us. But obviously you need to research it yourself. But I know you can buy turkey tail tablets on the internet. Hello, right, so they must have had to cast this in each individual piece because it's got one cast in there, one cast in there. They've got the tops on them, and it looks like they've welded them up or whatever they do. Then they put the scappers on. Look at this bridge, it's in the middle of a wood, middle of nowhere. Amazing. Don't do a pan across there, Bob. It's amazing. This is a bird's nest virus. What it does, this is a beech, but normally you see it a lot in birch trees, silver birch. And basically something has affected what they call the meristem, which is the growing tip of the branch. And it makes it, instead of growing like one shoot with two shoots, one shoot with two shoots, it makes it produce millions of shoots and it grows in all directions. And so it looks like a bird's nest. I'm sure I think it's a virus that causes it, but I know it's called bird's nest something or other. But if you see that's what causes it. Look at the size of them. Massive polypores eating the wood in this tree, and eventually this tree will just fall to pieces. But the woodpecker's been added as well. This is another old beech. So this woodland's full of old beech, but it's very sad to see. Here you go, this tree's dead. This tree is another beech ready to take its place. So as soon as that goes over, these little beech that are right, well, they're a birch, but this is a beech ready to take over. And this is interesting. Norman, come here. This is interesting. This is a rhododendron. Now, rhododendrons, they came to this country. I think the Victorians brought them in, and they've just spread like wildfire. All through this wood was full of rhododendrons once. Now if you see notching on your garden rhododendrons, like you see the little notches out the leaves, sometimes that's caused by, if your rhododendron in a pot goes yellow and has notches on the leaves, sometimes, I'm not saying this is it, it's caused by a brown beetle called a vine weevil, and it notches the leaves. But where it causes the most trouble is in winter. It lays its eggs right round the bottom of your plant, and your plant's looking sick, and sometimes if you pull it just comes up and it looks like something's bitten all the roots off, and when you're scratching there you find these maggots, and they're a creamy coloured maggot with a brown head. They're vine weevils, and if you let them go, they'll carry on doing damage. So they're a real pest. The best thing to them is put them on bird table and let the robins eat them. Look at that, more big beech all blown over. Well, at least there's a lot of little babies coming up, so another 100 years they'll be back. Another beech gone down. Tell you, there's some force to smash beech like that into smithereens. This looks like the other side of that bridge. You see, this looks like the entrance, and where they've cut through the sheer rock to get through, and there's all that still ferns and trees growing in the rock. It made it looking really natural, but it's took well over 100 years. And then that wall's still there. Engineering brick lasts forever. Right, I said bridge, I meant tunnel. This is the other end of the tunnel, going through Haigh. Got through all this sheer rock here. Brilliant. Look at the ferns in that. I love that. Industrialisation gone back to Haigh. Now, a lot of people don't realise with trees, this was a decent sized oak tree. Now, it's obviously been growing on rock, so it's not been able to go down, but they never go down more than about 3 foot because there's no oxygen lower than 3 foot. So they tend to, almost like a big sucker. They go like this one here, they go across the top of the soil, no more, only where the air can percolate down to, and it's like stuck onto the ground. So if you put a roadway through and chop through the roots, thinking, oh, it'll not do tree any harm, you could be cutting half of its roots off. A, it could blow over. B, in about 5 years' time, it has to die back to the size of its roots. So it starts dropping branches on your car. And they built a supermarket near me. They had to leave this tree. They dug all its roots up, tarmac round it. 5 years later, they had to cut it down because it was dropping logs on people's cars. Duh. So you have to be careful with trees. Remember, they've got roots. Try not to damage them, put driveways on them, drive on them, dig them up, anything. Imagine all that foliage up there is spread across the ground like a sucker. And then when the wind catches it, push, it's down. We love finding these. A random stone wall in the middle of a wood. Just you think, well, why is this here? And you look and there's some steps here going down, and there's what's left of a track down there. So Bob does remember when he was a kid, this was a bridge that went over at railway, and the road went up there. And that was 50 years ago. What's that up there, Bob?
That was the bridge.
That was the bridge up there. And it went straight across to there.
Yeah.
So this tree has got to be no more than about 50 years old, unless it was growing at the side of the bridge. Oh, look at this! Look at that, Bob! Tree's grown up, it's forked at the top. It's obviously got some wound in the middle of the fork. The wind's blown and split it right down the middle. And that's an oak tree. But it's still alive because the centre part of the wood is just the heartwood. Most of the life of the tree is on the outside under the bark. I mean, if you wanted to kill that, if you cut all the bark off all the way around and it stops it sending sugar and food from the leaves to feed its roots, that would kill it. This, there's no reason why it shouldn't carry on going. There's 2 trees. Seems to think this was a footbridge because there was a mine up there, and obviously a lot of miners have lived in Wigan, and it was the way they walked to work in the morning. Hello, this is a common laurel, cherry laurel. Now obviously a bird has eaten the berries off somebody's hedge in Wigan, pooed in the wood, cherry laurels grow. Now they can be invasive, these. If you see baby ones of these, you're probably best to pull them up. Nothing eats them, or very little eats them, because the leaves have actually got cyanide in. And if you crush a leaf up, it smells a bit of apple pips. That's cyanide. So don't cut it. If you're cutting your edge, don't cut it in a confined space, which your edge is normally outside anyway. And don't shred it and put it in your car and breathe the fumes, or put it in your garage, because the fumes off this cyanide, I can't think it's any good for you. But if you can smell apple pips, there's cyanide in apple pips as well. I've eaten thousands of them. They've never killed me, but I think if I ate a full jar full, it would. And I think if I ate this, it would. So just letting you know, they have got cyanide in them, but it's to stop bugs eating them, not people. Break a stick. Look what I've got. Look what I've got, Norman. I've got a stick. A stick. Gee, you don't want this stick, do you, Norman? Do you want this stick? Now don't. I'm going to throw it far enough so you don't stab your throat. Go faggot. I'm just looking at this here. Look at these. This is an ivy. So it's grown up with all these tendrils, and then it's up there and it's flowering and great for the birds. As I said last time, it's good for bringing trees down, ivy. But it's like something that Tarzan would swing off. It's amazing. And this here is a hazelnut tree. And somebody snapped it off and it's growing again. This is an hazelnut. They chop them off, they just keep growing straight up. So there's another one. You see what they do, hazels, and that's where you can copy some. Ooh, that was lucky. Stick went between my legs as I jumped. Come on now. Watch this. It's too late now, he's come, but you only have to break a stick and he's here. But I throw it far enough so he doesn't get there before it. He's going for a swim now. This used to be known as the Yellow Brook. And the reason it was yellow is this stream used to run off the old coal mine underneath the railway, and it used to pick up some yellow ochre, or yellow, which is like an iron ore, which completely coloured it yellow. But they've been doing some work over the years and the coal mine's gone, it's gone back to a nice clear stream again. It looks nice, and at the top of there you've got the Leeds Liverpool Canal. Come on. This was all underwater, wasn't it? It was about that deep a couple of weeks ago. I didn't let Norman go in then. You know. He didn't even have to swim today. Come on now. You ready? You Oh, sinker. You're going to drown doing that. Here, get a floater. Yay! Come on. Cleaner now. Cleaner now.
David, there's the yellow ochre.
Oh, great.
Bleaching out. And the big beech tree that's down. Ready?
Yeah. This is that yellow ochre I was talking about. It's like iron ore, and it mixes with water. It's rust basically. It's coming out of there, coming out of there. It's running all the way under this tree. Really thick patch of it there, and then going into the stream. And that's why this stream was called the Yellow Brook. That's the colour of it. Coats everything. Come on now. Look at that fern coming out of the tree. How nice is that? I've got moments. A piece of wood. A piece of wood. Man of the fish. Look at this, Bob. These are what they call burrs. I think, are they burrs? And these are when you cut the tree down and get that bit, because it's got all them, again it's like a multiple meristem thing, there's loads of shoots trying to grow it in one lump, but you put that in the lathe, the wood turning lathe, and that's where you can get some really nice oak burr fruit bowls and stuff like that. I know that people who do wood turning love them, and this tree's got loads of them all over it like warts. This stone here, this layer, it's like a mudstone, and when Bob was little he used to come digging that up, and he's found loads of fossils of leaves and all kinds of things. So it was obviously, I think England in those days was somewhere down near the equator, so it'll be like a tropical rainforest, and that's all the sludge that dropped. I don't know how old it is, whether or not it's Jurassic or whatever, but he used to find fossils in it. I know it was old enough. And then here you can see this here. Again, I'm no expert, but this looks to me like boulder clay. Now, boulder clay during the Ice Age, there was a mile of ice over our heads, and as the glaciers retreated, so you've got the stone, then you've got a mud, then you've got this boulder clay that came out of the glaciers. Because as they retreated, they just dropped all the stones. So these stones here probably came from the Lake District or even Scotland. And you've got a layer there which is probably Ice Age, and then you've got a silt, and it looks like you've got more stone on top, mudstone on top. So God knows what this did. Right, this is a chestnut tree. Now, look how the wind has been blowing it as it's grown, and it's almost grown in a spiral going up. Now, if you come closer, Bob, you can always tell a chestnut. They have sticky pointed buds that are really, really sticky to the touch, and they've got what looks like an horseshoe there. What that is, that's where the veins that went into the leaf last year. In autumn, they blocked those pores off. The tree did that, sucked all the goodness out of them first. They went red and yellow and started shrivelling. Then it blocked them pores, and then the leaf fell off. So that's the scar of where the leaf was, but that's, you can always tell it's a chestnut from those two things. Here we go. Plantation Gates, that's what I was talking about before. And that's the way to Wigan Town Centre. That's the way to Haigh, and this is just a loop. And then here, there's some cycle paths. Haigh 11 minutes, Red Rock 16 minutes. Place called Welly, and I think that was the Welly line we were walking on. Hindley and Blackwaz.
Welly Loop.
Hello, this is a lime tree. And from over there I knew it was a lime tree, because they're murder for doing this. They grow absolutely loads of shoots from the base, which makes them not that good for street trees, because you plant that in a street and you get all that around the bottom, it's blocked all the path, so you're constantly cutting the bottoms off lime trees. So that's something to think about if you're planting a lime. Tilia, I think it's Latin name. I know there's one called Tilia rubra because it's got red tips. Hello, this is a larch tree. Now, larch are like a pine tree, but they drop the needles in winter. So what a lot of loggers tend to do is they plant this tree around the outside for protection, because they drop the leaves and they can stand very high strong winds. That's why they do it. But if you plant a load of these around the outside of your forest, it lets your little trees inside, which are more prone to blowing over, it protects them. And there's some cones. But you see, this is where the needles come out of this spring. Come on, Mum. If that beech tree could talk. God, it's been in the walls. It's still there. It must be 100, probably 200 years old, do you reckon?
Huh?
Even not old, I have no idea how old trees are. But it's old. Full of miles and walks. This is normal woodland around the wood. Disappointed that that one's a pond. Go and jump in it and it weren't pond, it weren't water. Now, I was talking about larch, planting them outside. These are on the windward side of this wood, and we've just walked through a lawn of larch which have been mixed in with native broadleaf trees. So I reckon these were planted originally just to protect the forest, so that it would grow and make a nice wood. Look at this, Bob. What are the forces involved in breaking a solid oak like that? That just shows the weight of the branch and how it snapped that wood. For no real reason. It can only have been the branch was too heavy. Now this one, you can see why this one's gone out, because it's our usual trick where you've got one tree splitting into three. Now this one's gone down because of that. And all these here are wounds where it's been trying to heal itself and fix itself. And then there's even soil growing up there, but it's eventually, the wind's got it and it's just sheared off. But that is just, the forces in that are amazing. It's solid oak, this. Look at that. As I said the other week, you dig a hole in Wigan and you find coal. And I've just finished a piece of coal on the floor here. I looked under here and there's a full coal seam. It looks like somebody's been digging it out. That's all coal in there. Look. I think coal was put down around the Jurassic era, I think. How amazing is that? Now Norman, we think is part Jack Russell, part Corgi, we think. Now, somebody said to me last week, we should buy him like a rubber bone stick that we can throw so he doesn't poke his throat. So we were very conscious of that. But if we bought one of them, he'd probably have it 2 minutes and lose it, because he's not a retriever. He likes running after sticks, but he doesn't always bring them back. So we have to keep finding him new ones, and these only last 2 minutes, but I do throw them. Fair enough. That they get there before him and he doesn't poke his throat. Looks like there's a giant polypo down there, Bob. Not too at all. This is how daft Norman is. It's a big hill, stick, he goes flying down. He loves being in this wood, absolutely loves it. Is he gonna find the stick? He's forgotten. Forgot what he's gone for. We've got it! Come on, Norm! Come on! Come on! Oh, four-wheel drive here! Come on! Come on! Oh! Killer them hills, isn't they? These are the remnants of puffballs or earth balls, and that in there is all. You see the spores coming up. That's the remains of the spores. Now them spores will blow around, land on another rotten piece of wood, or even on the ground, because they're earth balls. We saw them in autumn, and they'll start growing again. So that's how. Apparently, in a normal day, there's that many fungal spores flying around. Humans breathing, I don't know, how many million spores a day. So it's just every day there's millions of spores in the air. That's why if you leave a piece of bread on side, you get green mould growing on it within days. So they're everywhere, fungal spores. Going back to us being, there was plants, fungus, and then humans in the animal kingdom, and we are more related to fungus than we are to trees. But you think, well, how can a fungus affect us? But let's face it, penicillin came from a penicillin mold, so that has changed the way humans have lived since the 50s. So that came from fungus. So what? So, sorry, I meant the 40s. They had it during the war, according to Bob. So that changed the way we live. So I don't understand why people are not looking more into the relationship between fungus and humans and how they can help humans combat diseases like cancer. So it's only what I think. Look at that there. This was one of Norman's favourite swimming spots, and during the storms this winter this great big oak tree's gone down, smashed a beech tree that was waiting for it to take its place, smashed another tree there, took all the branches off this one and crashed into the River Douglas. And this was a lovely deep part of the river, and the floods have been way over our heads. You can see in the trees the rubbish that's up there. The floods this winter were way up, and it's washed all this silt and rubbish down and ruined Norman's swimming spot. But it's how it happens. Come on, Norm, are you ready? Go faggot. Go on. You used to be able to swim for that. That's completely cheating. Again, Norman. Come back, Norman. He's lost it. It's there. Am I throwing you a sinker? Sorry, lad. Here. Have another bit. Are you ready? Are you ready? Yay! Again. I'm not throwing them fair enough, am I? You're cheating. How much does he love Sundays, Norman? Eh? How much do you love Sundays, Norm? This is where he shakes all over Bob's boots. Again, again. Come on, Norm. Devil's Canyon. Dun, dun, dun. Oh my God, Bob, look at that. Devil's Canyon. Now Bob reckons he used to play in here when he was a kid, but kids in the 70s used to climb mountains and didn't need to be fenced off. But now it is. But he reckons that...
It was an adventure play yard at one time.
Yeah. Then they turned it into an adventure fit play yard and it was too dangerous. And then Bob reckons that they cut the stone from here. Some of the stone came from here for Haigh itself.
See, that was a climbing wall there.
Yeah, somebody's actually built a climbing wall. The monkey bars.
Studs on there.
Yeah, I can see it. Look at that big... You can't see it from here. There's a massive tree gone down over there. But look at that tree clinging. Massive tree. Clinging on the edge. I don't know why they do that. Amazing. Devil's Canyon. And apparently up there, that used to, when Bob was little, he used to climb up to Devil's Seat. And not many kids got killed in here in the 70s. I'd say very few, if none. But now, obviously modern kids can't climb. Health and safety. Oh, Tinky Winky. Norman, Tinky Winky has been shot at head. Go get him. Come on, bring him. We found an all-in fence.
I think they built a hall with this quarry.
Yeah, you did that, yeah. You said that. Monkey.
I think it's a lion. I think somebody's had a go at damaging it.
That's stainless steel screws. Well, is it a lion? You think it is a lion?
Yeah.
I don't know what you think. Sounds like a YouTuber. Where are we going? Look at this, a yew tree. Yeah. They don't have a smell, and if you're ever making pine tea, don't make it out of a yew tree, because every part of a yew tree, except for the little bit of jelly around the seed, is deadly poisonous. Norman gets a treat, and we get a well-earned pie.